En la sesión de hoy vamos a ver la empresa y su información, que sería the company and its information. Una vez más, quien nos habla es Liliana Quipusco, but we were going to talk about the company. So, what is company? As all the classes that we have, we go to see the main dictionaries. So the first one is Cambridge Dictionary. What is this about company? Cambridge says that company is an organization that sells goods or services in order to make money. So, for example, it would be like she works for a company that imports cars, or she works for a company that imports cell phones. Another meaning, according to Oxford Dictionary, it is that a company is a commercial business. So, the main and big question is a company, a business, and an enterprise. Are they the same? Do they have differences? In Spanish, we also have like many words to refer to companies. We say empresa, we say, what else we say in Spanish? We say empresa, we say compañía. So it is the same as in English. We have company, we have the word business, we have the word enterprise. So what is the difference between them? In this case, the difference between company, business, and enterprise are the following. For example, what is business? Is business small? Is it large? Is it big? So, according to many pages that are related to companies on the internet, it says that a business it is a small one. So it could be like maybe a small place where you go to buy your groceries. For example, the little stores, las pequeñas tiendecitas que hay en tu calle, that is a business. On the other hand, a company is a big one. So in this case, a company it would be like a car company like Ford or Toyota. That would be a company. On the other hand, an enterprise is that it says that it is also big. It could be big as a company. It would be the same. So it could be like in this case HP for the laptops, HP Enterprises. The other difference that we have between these three meanings are how's the type? Is it simple? Is it complex? So in this case, business, it is simple. Like I told you, business, it is like the little store on your street that you buy your snacks or your sodas. So it is not complex. It is pretty simple. On the other hand, a company, it is complex because it has more employees, it has more procedures that you have to do in order to sell something. On the first one, a business, you just talk to the main person, to the owner that it is the one that's going to sell to you the products. On the other hand, in a company, you don't do that. You speak to a salesperson. On the other hand, an enterprise, it says that it is an informal meaning. So in this case, a company, an enterprise could be seen as a company. It is the same. Then, about debt. About debt in a business, it is most likely that it will affect your personal belongings. For example, if a person that owns a company asks for a loan to the bank, they will have to ask the loan for themselves. So in case the company breaks, they personally, as a person, they will have to encounter those debts. So it will affect their personal belongings. On the other hand, a company, the debt, it is most likely the owns company responsibility. So in this case, if a company asks for a loan to the bank, it is not going to affect the employees or the owners. It's going to affect the company's belonging. So if the bank comes to the company to ask for the money back and they don't have the money to give them back, they're going to affect the computers, the main locals that they have instead of going against the owner's money, personal money. Finally, in an enterprise, it is equal as the company about, I'm sorry, about that, it depends in an enterprise because, like we said, it's an informal meaning, so it could be maybe it will affect the companies or maybe it will affect the personal belongings. This is what is the most important question. So, what's the meaning of an enterprise? Because we see that it is a little, it is confusing because you some things they have like a company, some things it's maybe a business. So it says that an enterprise it is the same as a company when someone who shows some initiative by taking a risk. In this case, it says that an enterprise it doesn't have to be like a company. It like an established company. It could be someone that is trying to take an initiative and take a risk. So I don't know if you have heard about the word startups. That it is that we lately have seen and hear about this. That it is like a person that doesn't have any companies and just has an idea and start that idea, but it is not yet a company because they are trying to look for money from other places, from other person that sees that their idea is good and they want to invest in their idea. So an enterprise, it is for that. It is more like it is not exactly a company or a business, but it is more like it has like a more open meaning. So you can define what you want, and then you can once you have an enterprise, you can say like I want a company or want to be small and be a business. At the end, a business, a company, and an enterprise. Usually, when you speak to to other people, or maybe if you're doing business and you speak to, and this has happened to me a lot. When you talk to another, I don't know, another seller or buyer from international, they don't see a difference. They use the same. If any of these words, they will use it to define a company. Maybe they will say your business, or maybe they can say your company, or maybe they can say your enterprise. But they see it like it is the same. So now you know what's the difference. But when you talk to people internationally, they don't see this kind of difference so much. They usually use them as synonyms, not different, not different. So, but what about now that we know what it is a company? What about the collaborators? What are the collaborators? So, in order to see this, we're gonna see the meaning again. According to Cambridge Dictionary, um, collaborator it is a person who works together with other people for a special purpose. On the other hand, Oxford Dictionary says that a person is, sorry, a collaborator. It is a person who works jointly on an activity or a project. It would be like an associate. So, what is a stakeholder? Is it the same? No, it's not the same. We have heard about the stakeholders. The stakeholders are when I am the importer and I have my client that is going to sell me that provider. So if I'm an importer, I have an exporter. There is going to be I'm going to be the exporter's client. So that would be a stakeholder because it could be affected with what I decided. But a stakeholder is like a partnership. So it is like you have a really close relationship. You have established a relationship with the other company that I don't know, maybe you're going to buy them for the next 5 years. But on the other hand, a collaborator, it is someone that you're gonna work with, but you don't have so much of a partnership or of a relationship. So it could be long term, but it doesn't especially mean that you are going to stick to that person. But he will help you so much, and you're gonna work together with him. So, like I was telling you, a stakeholder means that if you have a more deep relationship with the company. On the other hand, a collaborator, it doesn't especially mean that you have a really, really deep relationship, but it really, really means that you are going to work together with that company or those companies, because we're going to see which could be our collaborators, in order for a special purpose, or in this case, because it is a company, it will be in order to find a solution to a problem that you have. So now, who can be our collaborators if we are important, if we have, maybe we can already have an important company, or maybe we are going to start one. So who can be our collaborators? And we have in them. In an import company, the collaborator companies could be an exporter. That is the main one. It is the one we are going to buy from. So in this case, the exporter is going to offer the products to another country. So it would be our first collaborator. Who can be our second collaborator? The manufacturer. In this case, the one that processes the raw material and gives the value added. So in this case, I'm guessing that maybe Danny didn't have a connection. He didn't contact directly to the manufacturer. He contacted the exporter, that it was the seller. But maybe in his next importation, maybe he can talk also directly to the manufacturer. So maybe he can have and ask the manufacturer to give him a special color that he may want for his pillow covers. So in this case, the manufacturer will process the raw material and give a value added. Who can be another collaborator in this case for Danny's importation? It could be the supplier, the one that supplies the raw material. That would be like a third collaborator. In this case, he didn't have the contact directly to the supplier because he directly went to the exporter. So, but in the next importation, maybe he can have a relationship to a supplier. Now, who can be our fourth collaborator? Our fourth collaborator could be our carrier. Who's the carrier? The professional conveyance of goods, in this case, transportista. So he will be our fourth. Why is he so important? Because he is the person that is going to bring the products from China to Peru. So he is really important. So moving forward, our fifth collaborator can be the freight forwarder. I don't know if you have worked with a freight forwarder. Maybe in this case, myself, I have worked with a freight forwarder, and a freight forwarder it is a person that offers you the service as a consolidation, as a reception, as a storage and handling of packing goods. In this case, you will use a freight forwarder if you import products that are over the $2,000. In this case, because if you bring less than $2,000 to import, you don't have to. You don't need to use a freight forwarder. You can use Post or maybe another courier. But if it is over $2,000, it would be like a regular importation, and you will have to use a stakeholder or a collaborator. That in this case will be a freight forwarder. So this company, what it's gonna do is it's gonna in China, they are going to, if you are not bringing a whole container, this company in China will get in contact to the other freight forwarder in China, and they will bring your product with along with our products into one container, bring them here. They're gonna reception. They're gonna take the whole products from the container and divide them to say this one is for Danny, this one is for another person, and they will keep it in storage until it is finished all of the custom process, and they will handle it and maybe packing, and they will send it to your house. So you, in this case, when you are importing and you have like regular importations, you have to have a really good relationship with the freight forwarder, because they, not all of them, but they tend to have like so much work that they try to use some tricks to get more time for maybe companies that aren't so big. You have a really good relationship with them and also know how to manage the uh, Suno web page. Now, since collaborating the customer broker, the customer broker, the customer broker is the gente aduana in Spanish. So this person, again, you will have to get in touch with him if you're making a regular importation and it is going to be over the $2,000. So what if in this case, when you do a small import that can be sent through Serpos, you yourself can do your own, I mean, in this case, not yourself, but in this case, you can have make the declaration, the declaración, by yourself, or maybe Serpos will do it for you. In this case, like saying Sunat is going to make it for you. But in the case that it is a big import, you will have to use a custom broker. So in this case, you also have to have a really good relationship with them, because like a freight forwarder, they use tricks. So maybe they will tell you, no, your pod is not ready yet for picking up because Sunat the Sunat system is falling. But if you know how to use the Sunat web page, you will know when your products are ready for picking up and when the Sunat service is fallen or not. So you really have to have a good relationship with them so they can honest with you until the truth. So when you have them as collaborators, it is hard to have a really, not a good relationship, but when it is just a collaborator that is just helping you in a project to solve, in this case, a problem that you have, that it is the custom problem, it is hard to get them to not be honest, but to get like with how we say, con la misma camiseta, in this case the same like t-shirt of your company, because you are maybe one small client. So maybe if you have him as a stakeholder, but it is going to feel the impact if you don't buy them from, if you don't buy their service from them, that would be more, that would be more adequate in order to have them like on your side and tell the truth and be meaningful to you. Finally, our seventh collaborator, it will be a distributor. So who is a distributor? A distributor is the one that supplies food to stores and other businesses. So in this case, if you are a small company or if you are a small importer, you will not have a distributor. But if you are a little bigger one, you will have a distributor that is going to do for you, that you're going to give them the products and they will give them to another company. So these are the main collaborators that a company can have. It could be for a small and medium business that we can have. And like I told you, it is not the same as a stakeholder because for a stakeholder you will have to have a more meaningful and close relationship. So a collaborator it could be like the first step to get in order to get to be like a stakeholder. So after this, now now that we know who can be our collaborators, we can say is a product or a service importation presentation important? In this case, if we're going to go to, and this but it does not only apply for selling goods, but also for buying. If is it good? Because if we're gonna sell, what do we need to do? We need to sell our products to make the client wanna buy our products, right? On the other hand, if we're gonna buy products, why could we use an present? Why could be so important? Because we are going to try to make the seller know that we are good, that we want to have a relationship with them, a close relationship, so we can buy all the time from them. So it is so important in this case the presentation because, in my experience, a good presentation for a seller, it could be that the seller is going to give you discounts or a cheaper price, but not giving you less quality, but giving you the same quality but a cheaper price because they see now that you are a serious importer and that you are seeing forward and you're seeing beyond and you want to have a relationship with them. So what are the main points that we need to have for a presentation? In this case, it could be for a product or service, and like I told you, for selling and for buying. So a good presentation can be the reason why a client buys from you or a supplier sells to you in a better price. In this case, the following tips that I can give you to win sales or to get prices are the following. You need to give mainly the company information. You need to give always your name, not just your name, for example, I don't know, says Liliana Imports, that is the name of our company. It is very important to give the complete with the razón social, like we say in Spanish. So it will be Liliana Imports SAC. Why? Because most of serious sellers and buyers, after you do your presentation, they will look for you on the internet and maybe they will not find you by your commercial name, but maybe they will find your razón in this case from the real name of your company. So it is important to give this. Also, location. Why location? Because if you are abroad, if you are going to a mission or to a fair, you're going to give, for example, I don't know, maybe I have a card right here that it says the company of this, the location, the address of this company that is Marco Soluciones Integrales. It says that their company is Science Peña Avenue, 1439. But if we don't say the complete, how can we know from where is it, which country, which city? So in this case it says Callao, Peru. So why? Because if we are going abroad, they will not know what is Science Avenue, so where is it? So we need to give the exact name. We have to remember that we are not talking to Peruvian people. We're going to be talking to people that are foreigners, but they maybe don't know. Maybe they wouldn't know where Peru is. It is. They will just, and this has happened to me a lot when you talk to foreigners, especially not people from. I have had this problem with American people a lot. I don't know why, but you say Peru, and they just as soon as you say Peru, they think Machu Picchu, and they think Lima and Machu Picchu. So they don't have a clue where Lima is. So we need to Lima, and Lima is the capital. Lima is the city. Machu Picchu is another place. So that's what is. why it is important to give the exact location as most accurate as you can, and also the complete name of the company. So maybe when they research on the when they do the research and they search for you later on the internet, they can have like see that who are you, which is your company, where it's located, and where maybe they will look for you in the Suna web page to see the information that you give. It is correct. It was correct. So next, we need to give a company introduction. Why? We need to say why we do. We need to say where we're gonna go. In this case, it could be like a mission and a vision, and we need to say also what we need or what do we offer. In this case, we are going to say what do we need to a seller. So to a seller, we're gonna give them, for example, in this case, like Danny imported the pillow covers. We're gonna say we need 100 pillow covers that I need them to be this color. 50 I want this color, the other 50 I want this other color. So we need to be as direct as possible and as detailed as possible so they can know and they can tell you, yes, I can do that, or maybe, no, I cannot do that, but I can give you a reference for another person or another company that can do that for you. On the other case, if we are selling to someone, we need to tell them what are we offering, the product, the price, as much detail as we can, because you're selling something. You need to give them as much detail as you have, because they're gonna decide from that information if they will buy from you or not, right? Another tip it is to give the after picture, and this is something that we usually don't do. I haven't. I have talked to many people, many companies, but they don't usually visit the after picture. I just recently came up to a Chinese company that is selling me some machinery for injection for plastics, and they gave me an after picture, and it was really nice to hear because they don't usually tell you this. So an after picture is how your life, or in this case your company's life, will look with you as a client, or how your company or your life will look with you, with your product or your service. In this case, if we are selling, we need them know how is it going to be good for you if you buy from me. So maybe in this case, if we took Danny example again, the cover pillows, how life will look for you with you as a client. For my client, I will tell him, I'm gonna give you this pillow, for example. I'm gonna give you this cover pillow, and it is really cool. It is it is really comfortable. Even though it has a sequence on the cover, it is really comfortable. It has a nice color, and all the details that we can give them. On the other hand, if we have the cover pillow, if we are buying the cover pillow, we need to give how life will look with your product or your service. So on the other hand, we can say, I'm gonna buy you, I don't know, maybe 100 pillow covers each month, and all the stuff that we can, all the details that we can give, so they can know that we will be a good client or we will be a good seller. Another tip for a product presentation, it is suppliers. You can give the suppliers or the customers you work with. For example, if you are buying from someone, you can say which are other companies that you're working. So maybe if I'm buying I don't know, maybe let's take Daniel example again. So if we Daniel, I'm sorry, if we are buying the piece maybe low cover that, hey, another company that I have worked with is this other company that also makes pillow covers, or I work with this pillow company, so he can know that you work with companies or maybe small companies, so he will try to be your seller's good price. On the other hand, if you are selling, give which are your companies, which are the companies that are customers from you. So maybe if selling this pillow called Saga Falabella, maybe I can say to them, hey, look, these are my customers, and I can put there, I don't know, maybe I sell to Oesle and to Metro and other companies, so they can see, hey, they work with companies, with other big companies like ours, and they sell, and so we need to work with them, because if my competition is buying from them, it means that the product is going to be sold, so I have to buy from him too. So it is really nice to give that, not also in your presentation, but also when you have a web page. It is good to put this information, which customers or which project you have worked with. Another one is the company logo, the slogan, and the contact information. So in this case, always put your name, the company name, but also the logo, because we most usually, in our heads, we remember the logo more than the name. So it is for people that are attracted to visual stuff. It is better to put the logo, because they're going to see your logo and they're going to remember you and your company. On the other hand, the slogan. Why the slogan? Because usually the slogans for companies are made from usually from marketing people that use catchphrases that it will stuck to your mind. Okay, so for example, which slogan can we say? I don't know if you. It's not a slogan, but I don't know if you remember that Gloria used to have like a commercial that it says that it was a really catchy song that it says glow 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 glow. So that kind of parts prepared by marketing people are made in order to get stuck in your head. So you're always going to think, obviously, when you in that I was little. So when you think about milk, you immediately think about Gloria. In other cases, also about another one, it is Colinos, for example, for your teeth. It also says like it had like a slogan that says um for Peruvian smiles. So and also it says for Colinas it says enjoy like better smile, disfruta una mejor sonrisa. So it is nice that at the end, because it's the last thing that they will remember of you, and it is catchy, it would be better because they will remember you. Then the contact information. This is obviously important, and it has to be there, because after you finish your presentation, who are they going to contact to? You have to give the name of the person that they have to contact. For example, maybe I'm giving the presentation, but I'm not the responsible for getting the phone calls, or the one that is gonna do the process of selling or buying. So I have to give at the end of my presentation. I'm giving the presentation, but I'm not the person that's gonna work with you once you decide to buy or to sell to us. So this is the person that is gonna be, and you give the name, you give the main telephone number from the person, and more stuff. So about other about company contact information, it would be, how can we make a personal business card for, in this case it is for non-import business, but it is for an import business. So
Let's talk about the business card. This is an extension of your company, brand, and people behind it. A tool to make a great first impression on customers and clients. And of course, this is a way to enhance the credibility of your business by creating an image of professionalism. Es muy importante olvidarnos de la idea de que la tarjeta de negocios es un elemento sin importancia. No debemos jamás subestimar esta pequeña pero poderosa herramienta que sin duda es capaz de abrirnos grandes puertas. Every business card should have a specific minimum characteristics to include all the information that we want to present to the client. For example, name of business or organization, address, email address, phone number, website address, job title, logo of the company, and list of service and products. No en todos los casos es obligatorio colocar la lista de servicios o productos, ya que puede saturar el pequeño espacio de la tarjeta. Sin embargo, las primeras 7 partes es recomendable que se coloquen todas.
I'm gonna show you a clip that is from this.
Look back over this last year and think about the opportunities that didn't go your way. Think about those prospects that you never got through to or that wouldn't give you a meeting. Do you know what happened? Do you know actually why that outcome took place? Even getting feedback from the prospect rarely leads to an honest answer. In working with thousands of salespeople, I have found that there are only a few common reasons that most people have become turned off from either our initial message or from us during the sales process. In this video, I'm going to show you 5 reasons that customers don't buy from you. Check it out. Number 1, we're too enthusiastic. Nearly every single salesperson out there is behaving really enthusiastic, and prospects see it coming from a mile away. It's time to become more distinct from our competitors by toning it down and dropping that enthusiasm. Number 2, talking too much about your offering. Prospects don't care about what you offer. They only care about solving their challenges and accomplishing their objectives. So stop focusing on our offering in that sales conversation and instead focus on understanding those challenges and helping your prospects accomplish their key objectives. Number 3, asking if you can learn about them. I see salespeople all the time asking prospects something that sounds like this. George, could we set up a call so that way I can learn about your business? There is nothing that is going to turn your prospect off more quickly than feeling like we have to educate you on our business. Nobody wants to educate you. We need to first show value and then engage the prospect in that conversation about what's going on in their world before we can ever learn about their business. We need to first show value and engage the prospect in a real conversation before we can ever learn about their business. Number 4, we didn't learn enough about them. Now this may sound a little contradictory given the last one that I just said, but it's not. The last tip is about how we're actually engaging them in the first place. Once they're engaged though, now we need to fully understand exactly what is going on in that prospect's world before we're ever ready to offer that solution. So first, engage the prospect in a way that's provocative and challenges them. And now it's time to fully understand those key challenges and those critical objectives. Number 5, we're too worried about price. I talk to a lot of salespeople throughout the year, and whenever I ask salespeople, what is the biggest factor in your prospect's decision-making process, they always inevitably say that number 1 or 2 is price. Yet, my extensive research on this exact issue shows time and time again that price is actually number 6 or 7 or even 8 in terms of the importance in your prospect's decision-making process. As salespeople, we're so focused on price, and it's time to stop focusing on price. Instead, focus on the value of the challenges that you're going to be solving for your prospects. And then price becomes really secondary. So there are the 5 reasons that customers don't buy from you.
So in this case, to wrap up and finish the class, this video mainly explains you how to sell. You don't have to be too enthusiastic. You don't have to be like too happy or too overwhelming because the other person is going to say, hey, why are you acting like that? Also, you have to do your homework. You have to look about the company. You don't have to expect from the company that you're going to buy or sell to tell you what cool they are. So you have to do that ahead because you are searching for them, right? The other is don't talk too much. Listen. The 4th one is you have to learn from that from them, understand what is the problem, what do they need, so you can give them to them. And finally, the last one is, don't worry about the price. Of course, the price is important, but also for most of the companies, time is the most important. Like Americans say the time is money, and it is not only for Americans. There are also, I have worked with a lot of Peruvian companies that prefer to pay a little more money in order to have a better delivery. We usually do that because, for example, Danny buy from a Chinese from AliExpress, and he didn't use their post. He used UPS. In this case, maybe UPS, you are going to pay a little more, but it is better because you are going to have more quickly. You're going to have your products in a week instead of in 60 or 90 days if you buy it and you use a post, right? So it is really important. So finally, I give you again the references where I took all this information, the dictionaries, this paper, and these three papers that I took for the information. And last one, I wanna thank you for your attention, for being with us today.